As I obviously can't tell, Big Lots is closing about 300 locations across the country. 3 in Kentucky, 5 in Indiana, and the most of my and 8 in Georgia are included in that list. Why these states in particular, you may ask? Well, I live in Kentucky, I grew up in Georgia, and there are stores in Indiana that's part of the Louisville metro area, so I figured at least I'd give them a shout out as well. That being said, the only Louisville area store is closing is on Popular Level Road, which was converted into a home store, which was converted into a Big Lots home store recently as well. So, as it turns out, that was more or less a waste of time and effort. But we'll give the folks at Big Lots an A for effort for trying something new. Currently, once that store closes, the closest one in that part of town, once it does close, would be Clarksville, New Albany, Bardstown Road, aka Fern Creek, and St. Matthews. Those will be the 4 closest. Not necessarily in that order, mind you, but roughly speaking, if you're a Big Lots customer in those that shops the Popular Level location, well, now you know the closest ones that are left that remain open for the time being. The Indiana stores are now the other Kentucky locations that are closing is in Harrison and Lexington. While the Indiana locations consist of Elkhart, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Kokomo, and Warsaw. While the Georgia locations mostly consist of the Atlanta area stores, but there's 2 in Augusta and 1 additional store that is closing as well. The Atlanta area stores are in Decatur, Fayetteville, Roswell, Stockbridge, and Stone Mountain, with Waynesboro and Thomaston representing the Augusta market, and the only other store that is closing right now is in Savannah. Now, originally, Big Lots was going to close 35 to 40 locations, and no Kentucky locations were included, and only 3 in Indiana and 2 in Georgia, originally. But obviously that has changed, and the list has grown. Whether or not Big Lots will continue to experience more closures down the road remains to be seen. But if that's the case, and more stores in Kentucky, Georgia, or Indiana are on the chopping block, I will be back and talk about it. But there is one other thing I want to talk about right quick regarding one of the locations that is closing. Apparently, on the original 35 list, the only South Dakota location in Rapid City is closing. So, yeah, if you live in that state, you now have to go out of state to find your local Big Lots. And yet through all this, some states, even after the revised closing list, managed to escape unharmed for now. But whether or not the will remains to be seen. I can say that as of today, Tuesday, the 6th, everything's up to 20% off at the Popular Level location. My plan is to go back there each week to give you an update on the discounts and whatnot. Now, these videos will probably be shorter compared to this one, unless I get a significant update regarding any more store closures or whatnot. Although one of the customers did ask the cashier there, and they said the store is planning to close sometime in October. So you got a little bit of time to visit your local store that are closing. But of course this does vary depending on the inventory or whatnot. So just keep that in mind as well. But for now, that will be it. I'll be back soon with another video. And until then, I'll see all of you next time. Bye.